What's up, guys? This is Taryn. This is round number 255 of trying to record this guide. We are talking about the Affliction Warlock, how to play it, what the hell you're supposed to do with this thing. It is 7.1.5. We have a Malefic Grasp, and everyone is losing their damn minds about what the fuck we're doing. So, we're going to talk about our pure single target damage. With this, we're going to be doing a lot of referencing to what's called a drain cycle. What is a drain cycle? Unstable Affliction has a 1.5 second base cast time. It has a tick period of 2 seconds, which means you can cast 2 in a row, start draining, and that first one that you cast will go and have the Malefic Grasp debuff. So the entire concept of a drain cycle, drain rotation, you'll kind of hear those thrown around a lot, is you are dumping UA and then draining until those UA are gone, or you have X other event happens, right? But that's the whole idea. The goal in your single target rotations is typically to never have any ticks of Unstable Affliction unbuffed. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't, but stuff to remember. So, what are we talking about today? We're going to be talking about 2 primary builds. These are single target, or we have maybe some adds that'll happen, but we need to funnel, and we are trying to kill the boss. We are killing the dragon and trying to make them dead. We're going to be going over an effigy build. We're going to be going over a conduit build. For those of you who don't like effigy, and there are instances where you would prefer conduit over effigy, we're going to talk about the strengths and weaknesses and what the fuck you're doing with this. So, we're going to talk about the opener first. The opener for these 2 builds is very lax, very easy. Effigy, we're going to talk about first. I'm going to post my weak auras and my macros that I'm using to track effigy. Kind of what I have going on here is, you're going to see over here is a focus target. This is going to be my effigy. And you're going to see a set of dots. This is my target. This is my effigy. You need to have something like this set up in order to, especially to play effigy. In general, you need some sort of extra dot tracking because Blizzard's UI is fucking terrible. But we'll get over that. We'll move past that. You fix your UI and everything is gravy. So, talk about this. The opener with AF is very simple, and if you do manage to mess it up, it doesn't matter because your damage at the beginning is going to be, it's like you're being outdamaged by Holy Paladins, and it's fine. So, what you're going to do, you're going to Effigy, send your pet in, you're going to Corruption both of these targets, you're going to Agony, Agony, SL, UA, Drain, and now we're waiting. Now, that is your opener. That's the main thing you're doing there. The big thing to remember, you are never going to SL, Siphon Life, on your Effigy. The reason why is the global cooldown spent on doing that is not worth it. There are other things you can do. You can refresh your Agony. You can refresh, you can life tap, you can just go into a drain cycle quicker by not doing that, and you'll get 2 to 3 more drain cycles per fight without having to refresh SL on the effigy. And that is worth more than the about 100,000 per 15 seconds that deals. It's about 400,000 every minute. It's not a lot of damage at all. So, because you got to remember, effigy dots take less damage. So, you're keeping Agony on both targets. You're obviously going to only put Corruption on the target if you're running AC. Very important. With this build, not looking at tier 45 and 75, you're going to go MG, AC, Siphon Life, Supremacy, and Soul Effigy. You really don't want to run service with these types of builds because UA just does more damage and it's a lot easier to... Trying to pop these cooldowns really messes with your rotation. So, again, we'll go through this one more. You're going to precast on the pull. Precast Effigy. Send your pet in. Corruption. Corruption. Agony. Agony. Siphon Life on the target. 1 UA. And then Drain. The reason why we want to do 1 UA is we're going to have an influx of shards. You might have some movement going on. And then we're going to redot. 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 Reap, UA, UA, Drain. And now we're going to see our damage really start to spike up, right? Okay, we're going to wait. Okay, UAs are gone. Redot, redot, and this is your whole rotation here. UA, UA, and then drain. That's it. That's your whole rotation. So, you generally don't want your pet hitting effigy, though. It's bad. Now, we'll talk about Conduit, and we'll get into some of the nitty-gritty between the two, because they kind of share the same concepts. So, with Conduit, oops. With Conduit, you're going to be running a different, slightly different setup. The main difference is instead of running AC, you're going to run Contagion, because you're only going to have 3 dots to maintain now. So you want your UAs to be as powerful as possible. So with this, your opener, really easy. You pre-pot at 1 second, dot, 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 UA, drain. Okay, we're going to wait, we're going to wait. You're going to see 6, 7, 8, okay, dot, 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 reap, UA, UA, drain. And this is your rotation now. Very easy. Now, what you're gonna start to notice, we're gonna keep going with this. So what you're gonna start to notice is that periodically, you're gonna notice your dots are gonna fall off. This corruption is gonna fall off before this, before that UA, right? It's fine. Corruption is not your primary concern right now. Your primary concern is making sure your UA is ticking, right? So this corruption is going to fall off right now before UA is done. And do you know what's going to happen? Not a goddamn thing. We're going to keep going. There you go. It is fine. The only dot you do not want to let drop off is Agony. That's it. Okay? It's the only dot you don't want to drop off. Okay. The reason why is because since Agony has a 10 or it has 10 stacks, you don't have to, you don't want to let that damage drop to 0. Whereas SL and Corruption are just on and off. Now, you'll notice that I'm kind of spamming the Drain Life. We'll talk about that for a second. While you're doing this, you'll notice that these little tick timers right here, that's when the SL will deal damage. There's supposed to be one right there. Now, when you pop that, you want to generally try and pop that right after that tick happens. But you'll notice if I pop that right there, right here, yeah. So you just kind of want to pop it while you want to recast that on that tick. You don't have the whole concept behind this is your UA. So we'll do one UA and then drain. Now you'll notice that your drain will last less time than UA, right? And UA is still ticking, so you have to recast drain at some point during this rotation. So just some nuances. Talking about some reap for a minute. Now, a lot of the stuff that I've just been talking about right now, or a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about right now applies to both of them. So when do you use reap? How do you use reap? And what's the logic behind that? There's an entire math write-up in my guide on MMOC. Go read that at some point if you want to really understand what's going on. What you need to know for right now is you want to reap on 2 or 3 souls, or you need to save for when you're going to be needing to dump for a duration of about 30 to 50 seconds, right? So right now I have four souls going on right now. So we're going to dot, dot, dot. We're going to wait a minute. We're going to let our agony tick up. Okay, we're going to redot, dot. So we're going to have 5 souls. So what this is going to let us do is we're going to be able to get 2 UA. I'm going to talk about what I just did here in a second. So we're going to be able to get 2 drain cycles going through here, right? So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Okay. Redot, redot, redot. Now we still got that previous reap, so we can keep going and then drain, right? And you'll see this reap is lasting. Our main concern is making sure that UA is under the effect of that reap, okay? So that's kind of the gist behind reap. Reap, you want to use at 2 souls or 3 souls and then go through your drain cycle. If you have 2 souls like you have right here, you go UA, reap UA, and then drain. Okay? The reason why is because this reap will last just longer unless you get a refresh than the original UA, or than those UAs will. So that's the logic behind your soul usage there. Cool. We're going to talk about Conduit now, because Conduit in general has some weird things that'll happen. So what's going to happen is Conduit is especially good if you've got a bunch of targets that you're maintaining dots on, right? So we're going to notice that we're going to have a bunch of shards that we're expecting to happen, right? So now we're going to do 3 UA instead of just 2. So when do we stop? We stop to recast Agony only. And we go dot, dot, dot. UA. And we're just literally applying our face to the UA button. Right? And our goal right now is we're just trying to get as much damage out of UA as possible. Okay? We're going to do something right now. We're going to do something a little cheeky. We're going to extend this Agony a bunch. And we're going to... We're at 5 shards and we have Conduit. We're going to literally do like 4 of these and then Drain. Corruption and SL are going to drop. This is times... If you're going to be in a boss like this, this is the type of boss where you might not want to have Contagion. You might want to be AC for this, right? All of these timers and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and link in the video when I make this. So, anyways, it's kind of the gist of this. I'm trying to hope this helps with your single target rotation, stuff like that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send me here. If I get enough about one topic, I'll respond with a whole video. If not, I'll just kind of respond in comments. A link to my MLC guide will be in the video. A link to my weak auras and my macro for a couple things will be in the target as well. So, and Doom Shards, the link to download Doom Shards, my Soul Shard will also be in there. So, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks.